1972, we had 1 year, 8 months Ted Heath, 2 years Harold Wilson, 3 years Jim Gallaghan, 11.5 years Margaret Thatcher, 6 years John Major, 10 years Tony Blair, 3 years Gordon Brown. If you can put up with that lot for all this time, you can put up with me for the next 5 minutes. Thank you. Well, I'm going to show you a wonderful magic trick now called the spotted can. I got this from an old Scottish performer called John McIntyre. John McIntyre was one of the, he invented the sage and onion bullet. He could shoot a duck and stuff it at the same time. He went out for a walk one day, he met a crowd of people running down the street. He said, "What's up?" They said, "The lions escaped from the circus." He said, "Which way did it go?" The bloke said, "You don't think we're chasing it, do you?" A friend of his come back from Africa, brought him some ground up rhino horn, supposed to be a powerful aphrodisiac. It hasn't helped his love life, but he gets his urge to charge at Land Rovers. He was coming home from the pub one night. Somebody stepped out of the shadows, stuck a gun in his ribs and said, "Hand over all your money or your geography." He said, "You mean history?" He said, "Don't change the subject." He went into the baker's. He said, "Are those cream cakes fresh?" The baker said, "They're as fresh and as pure as the girl of your dreams." He said, "I think I'll have a Cornish pasty." He said, "How much are they?" The baker said, "They're £1 for 2. He said, "How much is one?" He said, 75p. He said, "I'll have the other one." His wife's not too happy either. She said, "We never go anywhere these days." He said, "We're going out right now, put on your hat and coat." She said, "Where are we going, John?" He said, "We're going for tea and biscuits." That was the day she became a blood donor. He had his name in the Guinness Book of Records. He swallowed all the pieces from a game of Scrabble in under 1 minute. That's how he had his name in the Guinness Book of Records. We had to rush him to the hospital afterwards. The doctor there gave him a bottle of castor oil. He said the problem would work itself out, but not in so many words. Here we are. The other day I saw a man perform a trick with a spotted can. He showed 2 hankies, black and white, then tucked them in right out of sight. He cast his magic spell and then, that's right, he took them out again. He said, "You won't believe your sight, but the white has changed to black." There's a lot less to this act than meets the eye. Now, if that wasn't enough, and I could tell by your reaction it wasn't, I'll do it again. He showed us how the trick was done, so I'll do it again just for fun. First you take the spotted tin and place the handkerchiefs right in. Now watch the can with all your might, for you won't believe what you see tonight. I'll take the spots and throw them in. Thus ends the trick. Spotted tins. I have done that trick for the great Fidel Castro. Well, he said he was Fidel Castro. What he actually said was, "If you're a magician, I'm Fidel Castro." I went to an auction some weeks ago. I cleared my throat and found out I'd bought this. And I didn't have a clue what it was, but a friend in the magic circle tells me it's an old Chinese magic trick. And it used to be performed by a lovely young Chinese lady magician called Anna May Wong. Anna May was beautiful, she was gorgeous, and she was lovely, and when she appeared in the theatre, all the young men would gather around the stage door and bring her big bunches of flowers, and they even drank champagne from her slipper. She ended up suffering from green fly and athlete's feet. She had a boyfriend called Albert. Albert was a poet. Albert said to her, The bright sunshine of your smile dispels the dark clouds of my life. She said, are you proposing or is that the weather forecast? When she, Albert said when she first met Albert, she was playing hard to get. She gave him one of those looks that could kill. Unfortunately, she was cross-eyed, so she missed him and killed somebody else. Albert said to her, will you marry me? She said, you'll have to ask me Dad. Her dad was called One Hung Low. They had two cousins who used to play football for Crystal Palace. One was called We Won Once, and the other was called How Long Since. I told that joke in a pub in West Croydon, and after I came out of hospital, I thought that wasn't the wisest thing to do. One hung low said to Albert, he said, are you earning enough money to support a family? Albert said, I am. One hung low said, are you sure now? There's 12 of us. Anna May said to Albert, she said, now that we're engaged, we should be honest with one another. I want to tell you about all the love affairs I've had. I would like to tell you about all the boys I've made love to. Albert said that was all in the past, and besides you told me all about it a week ago. She said, it's just last week I want to tell you about it. I nearly finished. Albert told you she was wonderful, he told you she was gorgeous, he told you she was beautiful, he told you she was lovely, so she left him. She thought she was too good for him. He was devastated, he was bereft, he was mortified. He tried to end it all by taking an overdose of aspirin. But after he'd taken the first two, he felt an awful lot better. He went into the library. He said, have you any books on suicide? She said, we had, but they never bring them back. Oh, that's right. He went missing for a while. We eventually found him. He was sound asleep in the back of an ice cream van. He was covered in ice cream. He had a chocolate flake in one hand, and his head was covered all over with the chocolate sauce, crushed nuts, and maple syrup. We think he tried to top himself. The trick that you're about to see is one which really baffles me. Over here I have two strings, both of which do crazy things. When one is long, this one's short, the strangest trick I ever bought. Up and down, see it go, how it works, I just don't know. To some, of course, it would appear to be one string which goes through here. But when this string is lifted so, it goes high and then goes low.
Oh my God.
Now I've discovered how it's done. The strings are joined and to this end run. Down the sticks and round this end, it's enough to drive you round the bend. But if that is so, how can it be? Still they change. It worries me. Now if perchance the trick goes wrong and both the strings end up long, I'll use a bit of magic here and make the strings disappear. I think at last I've reached my goal. It's enough to drive me up the pole. The only thing remaining now is to say good night and take a bow.